In this video, we explore how to create and configure an interactive lesson activity in Moodle. The lesson activity in Moodle is a powerful and versatile tool that enables teachers to create dynamic and interactive learning experiences. Unlike standard content delivery methods, the lesson activity combines instructional content with assessment questions in a flexible format. Let us explore some of the special features and benefits of the lesson activity. Number 1. Nonlinear navigation. The lesson allows for adaptive learning paths where learners can navigate through the material based on their responses to embedded questions, and teachers can set branching options, enabling learners to jump to different sections or receive additional information based on their choices. Number 2. Interactive content delivery. Lessons can include a mix of content pages, text, multimedia, or combinations, and question pages, ensuring learners remain engaged, and supported media formats include videos, audio clips, and images, making the activity visually appealing and accessible. Number 3. Self-paced learning. Learners can progress through the lesson at their own pace, revisiting sections as needed for better comprehension, and teachers can provide feedback on questions to guide learners during the activity. We now explore how to add a lesson activity from the course homepage and configure its settings. You don't need to set all parameters right away. They can be adjusted later, either after completing the lesson setup or at any time. You need to start by providing a name for your lesson and, if necessary, a brief description that will be displayed on the course homepage. Once you have configured the initial settings, click the Save and Display button. This will direct you to a window where you can begin adding various types of pages to your lesson. Let's now learn how to add the first page to the lesson. This initial page typically includes an overview or the lesson plan, as illustrated here. In the window that appears after configuring the settings for the lesson activity, you will see various types of pages that can be added to the lesson. To start, we will add a content page. Provide a title for the page and add the required text, images, and videos in the page content area as needed. In this example, we upload the diagram of the overview of the lesson that has been prepared before. After writing or uploading content, such as images or videos, in the page content area, you need to define the content details of the following pages with navigation links. Currently, since the next pages are not yet created, you can temporarily label the navigation links as next page. Once the subsequent pages are created, you can update and specify the correct navigation links. When filling in Content 1, Content 2, Content 3, etc., the corresponding navigation labels are generated at the bottom of the current page. These labels allow students to navigate directly to the specified content based on your defined jump pages. In this example, only Content 1 was filled in, as a linear flow was used. If your structure involves branching paths from the current page, you must provide multiple contents, depending on the number of navigation paths. Let's now explore how to add additional pages to the lesson. For instance, if we have created a section titled "What are thin cylinders?" we'll need to add a dedicated page for this topic. To do so, click on the Edit button to open the window where you can add pages to your lesson. Select Add a Content Page from the drop-down in the Actions column. Enter the page title, ensuring it matches the one used for Content 1. Next, write the page content and incorporate audio, images, and videos as needed in the page content window. Similar to the initial page, you will need to fill in the titles for the subsequent pages, such as Content 1, Content 2, etc., along with their respective jumps. In this example, we introduce a question page titled Question 1. Since the Question 1 page has not yet been created, use Next Page as a temporary jump option. Next, we will add a question page that we included as Content 1 of the last page we have added to the lesson. Here, you can see two navigation options based on the student's response. For a correct answer, the student moves to the next page. For an incorrect answer, the student is redirected either to a page with information related to the question or to a page offering additional support and resources to help them learn and retry the question. According to the lesson plan, the next section covers types of stresses in thin cylinders along with a supporting video on the same topic. This content can either be presented on a single page, combining both text and video, or split across two separate pages. For this example, we will use a single-page format to integrate both elements effectively. Now, we introduce question 2. It will be a multiple-choice question. Keep the jump to the next page for the correct answer placeholder until the actual page is created. For incorrect answers, keep the jumps on the same page. Now, let's add the final content page, followed by a set of questions. Here we use a cluster as the jump page. A cluster is a way to group a set of pages, usually questions, and present them randomly to students. It allows you to create a more dynamic and varied learning experience by ensuring that each learner might see a different set of questions from the cluster. To add a cluster to a lesson, start by inserting a Start of Cluster page followed by an End of Cluster page. Once these are in place, you can add pages within the cluster as needed. This is how to add questions to the cluster. It involves creating either a content page or a question page, similar to what we have done before. After adding all the pages, you can now configure the correct jump pages by editing each, as shown here. If you want to randomize the questions in the cluster, make sure the cluster page jumps to Unseen Question within a cluster. Also, make sure each question page jumps to Cluster. You must select Unseen Question within a cluster for all possible responses within a question page. Finally, the jump for the end of the cluster is set to End of Lesson if you do not want to add more content pages. To randomize questions within a cluster, adjust the flow control settings as follows: set Provide option to try a question again to No, and set the maximum number of attempts to 1. Here's how the students view the completed lesson.